Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, January 24th, 2020. And this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. The big news this week is that Google released an update that basically went ahead and deduplicated the feature snippets from repeating that feature snippet URL in the main results. And that had a ripple effect on lots and lots of things. So stay tuned. Lots of news to cover this week. Hope you enjoy it. All right, so like I said, the main thing this week was that Google went ahead and released an update that basically when there is a feature snippet for a specific URL, Google will not repeat that URL on that search results page for the first page. That means basically if you have that feature snippet at the top, Google's not going to go ahead and show your feature snippet again, your URL again in that results. It used to be where a feature snippet would then always probably be on the first page in the main results. Now, Google's going to say, hey, you have a feature snippet, we're not going to show it again in the main results. It's all going to be part of what we call the main results now. Danny Sullivan kind of went ahead and said, hey, you're right. We didn't announce this. This is something that rolled out 100% on January 22nd. There's lots of confusion around this, but basically all you need to know is that if you have a feature snippet, it's not going to show up again on the first page result. It might show up in the second page result, probably won't. There's some rumors around that. Google said, no, it's not guaranteed that you'll show in the second page results either. In addition, Google said the Search Console reporting is not impacted by this because Google Search Console reports, the performance report only looks at the top most result anyway, which it did with the feature snippets result anyway. There's a lot of confusion around this. Things around like what's included of PAAs, like people also ask, is not included. Images in the feature snippet result is also not included. So don't worry about that. And there's lots and lots of chatter around this. So definitely take a look at my post about this on January 23rd because I go through a lot of those changes. And like I said, Google had to say numerous times that the Search Console reporting and the performance report will not be impacted by this as well. So do not worry about that. That doesn't mean that third-party tools won't be impacted. It looks like they are impacted, the third-party tools like SEMrush, RegRanger, Moz, any of these tools that track their rankings of pages, like the search ranking changes, as well as report on feature snippets, also will be impacted by this. And the tool providers did say they're updating it. And with that, it looks like a lot of people suspect there was a ranking update around January 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, which is today. I don't think so. I think it's probably related to this Google feature snippet deduplication efforts by Google. But if you take a look, there's lots of chatter out there. A lot of those chatter references their analytics tools might not have been updated but for this change. Also, the tool providers themselves are saying, yeah, we need to update it. Here's SEMrush saying we need to make updates for the feature snippets. Here's Pete Myers, Dr. Pete from Moz, basically saying he has to make updates as well. But if you look at their tools, yeah, it shows most of the tools show a lot of changes around 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Again, I don't think there was necessarily a Google ranking update. There was a deduplication update affecting feature snippets, which obviously impacts some of these third-party tools. Google also announced some big news around Schema or markup, rich results markup, saying that they're going to be dropping support for data vocabulary .org, I think, or .com. Anyway, data vocabulary is being removed as one of the three types of markup that's supported. So Google said very few people are using it. So they are supporting most popular ones, schema.org. But Google did say they are going to keep supporting microformats as well. So data vocabulary is out on April 6th, I believe, was what they said. But schema.org, which is the most popular, and microformats are still staying. At least for now, microformats is going to stay, but by far Schema is the most widely supported one. Google did say they will continue to send out notifications that they are deprecating the data vocabulary if you're using it. So if you are using this data vocabulary.org schema, you will be getting deprecation notices via Google Search Console. Here's an example of what one looks like. If you want to take a look at it, its schema is the data vocabulary.org schema is being deprecated, so keep that in mind. Google should notify you if you use Google Search Console. Google also made significant updates to their mobile-first indexing developer docs. I went ahead and listed all the changes based on what Eamon Lukul, I can't pronounce his name, I'm sorry, went ahead and documented on Twitter. So definitely take a look at that. Google made some significant updates to the mobile first indexing developer docs, which is important to take a look at. Google launched or removed out of beta and now is a non-beta product, Google Dataset search, which basically lets you search out tons of really useful information and data from across data providers, as well as any websites that are using data schema on their websites. This is something that you should be doing if you do provide data on your websites. You should definitely mark them up with data schema because you get a way to get more traffic from that through dataset search. In addition, it's also a useful tool if you are doing any content development to use that search engine to find some useful content for your content, useful data for your content. John Mueller said, if you're stop overthinking links or natural links. If they're natural, they're natural. That's what he said on Twitter. It makes you kind of laugh about that because, what is a natural link? If you're thinking about it, is it really natural to even think about what's natural? It's kind of one of those meta questions. Then John Mueller said that Google says reciprocal links aren't necessarily bad, but then when he said that, he went on this little small rant saying, but, reciprocal links aren't necessarily bad, but it's good to avoid all link schemes and similar games that sometimes played in that space. They're pretty obvious to our systems. He's basically saying reciprocal links aren't necessarily bad. If you're doing I'm trading a link with you, if you give me a link back because we're relevant content and we like each other, fine. But if you're doing that on mass scales, not a good idea. Google's John Mueller also said a site won't outrank you just by using hidden text or small things here and there. Sites do make mistakes, but it's not going to go ahead and even penalize you if they're doing one mistake. So if you're making one small mistake, you're hiding text by accident. John Mueller basically said, let me tell you a secret. There's lots and lots of algorithms that you don't have to win every day and you don't have to be successful in every one of those, he basically said. But on Reddit, he said, a site is not going to outrank your site just because of hidden text. He also said, versely, just having hidden text on a page won't get the site banned from Google. He said this before, just good to reiterate. Google's John Mueller also said that a .gov domain won't give you a ranking boost. Having a .gov URL or a link from a .gov is not specifically a ranking signal from Google, so don't think that that's going to go ahead and do something specifically special for you. John Mueller released a cool video documenting what Google image search does for ranking and optimization. These are the few things he did, but the most important thing he said was, first, understand and consider how your images will be found in image search. And when you understand that, write your content around that. And these are the things, technical things you could do, like high quality images, relevant and visible placement, descriptive page titles and alt text captions, descriptive file names, and fast image hosting are some of the things that he listed out as things to improve your image search rankings. It looks like Google AMP Stories has expanded beyond people and now work for animals, mammals, insects, and so forth. This was spotted by Morty from Rank Ranger, which is pretty cool. So here's a lion, and you click on the lion, and up comes that AMP page. So Google is testing, still keeping the old Google user interface without the favicons and black ad labels. This is something that Google has done when they launched it in mobile a year ago or so, where they actually kept that a small percentage of people showing them the old interface just to keep metrics for the upcoming weeks. And expect the same thing here. You might see the old interface pop up. It's Google just collecting data and metrics for those to see how that actually is impacting search and so forth. So don't expect not to see it because Google is going to be testing that. Google also said they're not going to do away with domain names and search. Danny Sullivan said the domain names are the most important part of the URLs. These haven't been removed because we agree that this is important to show. It's not going away. There's been rumors about Google removing the domain name from search or from Chrome, etc., but it's not going away. Google Local seems to be rolling out the profile icons in the local knowledge panel, something they actually launched a while ago and testing it for a while, but now it's actually live. As you can see here is the Rusty Brick profile icon, and here's some other profile icons that we've been shared as well. So you should be seeing that on desktop as well. Definitely take a look. And if you don't have a profile icon, I think you could upload it in the Google My Business Center. Google is, I think it's a bug or a test, I'm not sure, testing like kind of collapsing the reviews in the Google local results. Here's a screenshot that basically shows that you actually have to click on, here's a review left by Elizabeth, click on more to see it, but the response from the owner is kind of highlighted. It seems like it's a bug. I wasn't able to replicate it, but it was very interesting. Also, I released 2 vlogs this week, one with Josef Sperzel. We talked a little bit about Python SEO. We talked about some other technical SEO stuff and how his company that he worked out then specifically uses so many things to try to help their clients rank well. And I had the honor and privilege of sitting down with Mike Grehan, somebody who was in the industry before there was an industry. Mike I actually interviewed 15 years ago prior. But it's interesting because he wrote the book on search. One of the first persons to write about patterns and to look deeper into that type of stuff. And he actually foresaw a lot of the future of where search was headed. And if you watch this interview, we talk a little bit about that. Anyway, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. I'm sorry if I sound a little hoarse. It was a really long week. I was in Disney World with the family, trying to keep everything up to date while doing that with lots of kids. So it was kind of tiring, so I apologize. Anyway, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz. Today is Friday, January 24th. Everyone have a great week, and I'll see you guys next. Goodbye.